I bet you're wondering how I got here. Well, let me explain. So I'm officiating a kids wrestling tournament yesterday in Concord, North Carolina, and this is a finals match, and the wrestler in red is winning at this point 3-0, and you can see the kid in the white singlet starts cranking on his toe, putting his knee in an awkward position. So one of my main jobs as an official is to keep the wrestlers safe.
Let's pause here. This is TikTok user Speed Turtle, and he is going to go over what led to him getting assaulted.
And you can see right here that the bottom wrestler is grabbing the top wrestler's right toe with his left hand. So he's putting the top wrestler's right knee in an awkward position and is bending it to the side. And there's a rule that says that's illegal. I could call that 1 point for red because that's an illegal hold, taking any limb out of its normal range of motion. I also have the option to call potentially dangerous, which is what I did. I'm in very good position over there, and I'm seeing his toe is strange, his knee's in a strange position, and I stopped the match.
Let's pause once more. We need more of this. And it is something I have discussed with fellow sports fans in the past. Explanations from referees afterward. Explanations from linesmen. Explanations from umpires after melees, after games, etc. The leagues, professionally of course, will shy away from this. And we know why, because referees could potentially be put in a bad light or give a bad quote. But, may I say, getting full transparency and a breakdown from the horse's mouth who saw it firsthand, literally up close and personal, is vital. Onward.
I call potentially dangerous, and I stand up, he's still cranking it, and then I instruct him, I say, let go of the foot. And that apparently alarms the bottom wrestler's dad, who immediately charges the mat and assaults me.
Let's stop here as well. This is, as we covered, a troubling, growing theme in sports. The domino effect is games, or matches in this case, lead to cancellation because of a country-wide referee shortage.
I did want to acknowledge a couple of people that had my back that day. The two officials that you're going to see in the video, Sean and Bill, thank you. I also want to acknowledge this woman here. I don't know your name, but you are awesome. If you watch the video, you'll see she is the first person to jump to my aid. She was ready to go. And then also thank you to the two women who caught the video. You can hear their commentary close to the camera.
Kudos to all of them for helping this man, as it appears, just simply trying to do his job. There would be more. So the man doing the shoving would eventually leave the room and then the building. But we would later learn who he is.
Justice has been served. Mr. Hammond was arrested last night in Tazewell County, Virginia, on the extradition warrant from Cabarrus County for the charge of assault on a sports official. Sheriff Hyatt from Tazewell County tells me that Mr. Hammond went without incident. He was taken into custody and booked into the jail and posted bond and was released. So he'll have to appear in Cabarrus County when this hearing comes up.
And in the end, Mr. Hammond would face punishment. The TikTok user Speed Turtle, we would also learn, in addition to being a referee, is an attorney Oh, said Mr. Hammond. He had this to say, which I thought was a very wise message of Hammond towards the end of his video.
We all make mistakes, and we all have to face the consequences. This didn't happen to Mr. Hammond because he committed a crime. It happened because he committed a crime and then tried to avoid the consequences, fled the state. Fortunately, he was apprehended, and he will have to answer for his actions.
It's good to see accountability for one's actions, but I have to reiterate and tell you the story of how this is a humongous problem in youth sports and high school sports from KSAT. Although parents spend boatloads of money to put their youngins into sports, the treatment of officials at the hands of parents spending said money has resulted in, per the National Federation of State High School Associations, some 50,000 individuals halting the practice of being an official. Think about that. Think about the decline. Think about the mistreatment that they suffer to make them not want to go back. The new norm, per the outlet, is less refs. No matter the sport, no matter the location, no matter the time, i.e. 1 or 2 at a b-ball game instead of 3. A baseball game with a single ump or none. And the onus being put on the parents or the managers to play umpire. Or even worse, games being completely canceled or postponed and then subsequently canceled in some cases. David Walensky is the vice president of the Syracuse chapter of football officials, and he made it clear to Spectrum News, "You're here to officiate a game," he said, "not to listen to a parent screaming at you or even a coach." Great point. Nick Lohr, secretary/treasurer for the Syracuse chapter of the New York State Association of Certified Football Officials, laid bare the very grim results. The number of working referees for some sports has dropped by almost 50%. And we know why. It's because of the mistreatment over and over again. And I'll get into how bad it is. What we saw initially was bad. And yet somehow it could get worse. In the state of Florida, the youth sports industry has seen a net loss of some 400 referees, per the director of officials for the Florida High School Athletic Association, whose name is Jeremy Hernandez. Some of the most egregious moments were outlined by the Tampa Bay Times as Lawrence Peace. One father socked an umpire, which led to their arrest. In the Peach State, one official got some 30 stitches after being attacked by parents at an 8th grade church basketball game. Let me reiterate. An 8th grade church basketball game. Colorado saw a parent spray Lysol in an official's face at a hockey game. And that's just naming a few incidents of what is likely in the hundreds, if not thousands. Another result, how taxing it is on those who are paid nothing, close to nothing, and doing a job that many won't. One official named Jamie Thurn spoke with NBC 26 in the state of Wisconsin and painted the picture of how the shortage affects their schedules. When their game ends, they are asked, "Will you please ref our game? We don't have any refs coming. We really want to play." So at that point, they're doing back-to-back games when they were only scheduled for one. Got to get to the arena, got to get home. After already having a day job, that is a long day, guys. Just to essentially volunteer. It's whack. The Sport Journal's Dr. Matthew J. Williams would conclude, and this is important, the real cause of the shortage of sports officials is simply the respect that is not given to the sports official by coaches, parents, family members, and fans. The behavior from coaches, parents, family members, and fans of yelling at sports officials, questioning sports officials' calls, threats of violence towards sports officials, cursing at sporting events, and even battery towards sports officials is completely out of control. No sports official wants to deal with this type of behavior at all, nor should this type of behavior be allowed. This is the main reason, writes Williams, why we are seeing the pool of sports officials becoming smaller. State legislation, superintendents of schools, principals of schools, and county commissioners need to address this issue out of control behavior towards sports officials. He is right. He's 1,000% right. If they do not, we will witness games being canceled, cancellations of seasons, and drastic pay increases that will be demanded by sports officials for the abuse. 1,000%. 1,000%. It also hit me that, yes, the video was taken by someone in the crowd, but if he doesn't upload this video, it doesn't gain the traction. And then there are probably, because we've seen what media pressure does to a lot of precincts, to hold this man accountable. He tried to flee. What happens if it doesn't gain traction? What if there aren't that many eyeballs on it? Those are legitimate questions to be asked. Nonetheless, I hope, as he said, justice is served further. Whatever route he decides to take, I'm sure many are in support of it. If you can, please follow the original Speed Turtle on TikTok, as he has vowed to keep us updated as any new events do transpire in his case.